Welcome back to Botanical Bliss, where small space gardeners grow big dreams. If you've struggled to grow great tomatoes on your balcony, patio, or in a tight backyard, today's guide will change everything. After years of trial and error, I found a plastic bin soil system that turns compact spaces into productive tomato jungles. And the results are nothing short of incredible. Whether you're a city dweller or working with limited sun and space, this is your blueprint for harvesting the biggest, juiciest tomatoes you've ever grown in containers. Why plastic bins work better in urban spaces. Let's be honest, most urban gardeners don't have the luxury of raised beds or sprawling gardens. But plastic storage bins? They're affordable, easy to move, and surprisingly effective for growing large crops like tomatoes. The magic of 27-gallon plastic bins is all about soil volume. Tomatoes aren't just thirsty, they're heavy feeders with roots that need room to expand. Round terracotta pots or fancy grow bags often fall short, limiting root development and stunting fruit size. Bins offer deep, wide-growing zones and can be tucked into balconies or tight patios without wasting space. Even better, bins retain more stable temperatures than many other containers. On hot concrete balconies, dark plastic pots can overheat, baking the roots. Plastic bins, when properly prepped, resist extreme fluctuations, key to healthy, consistent tomato growth. The urban soil formula that works wonders. Most container tomatoes fail because of poor soil, not poor sunlight or watering. Urban environments are tough on plants with heat, wind, and compact spaces stressing your garden. That's why your soil mix must be flawless, retaining moisture, draining quickly, and delivering nutrients for months. Start with a premium potting mix that includes both peat moss and coconut coir. This base retains water while staying breathable, exactly what tomatoes need in containers. Avoid cheap, bark-heavy mixes that dry out fast. To 2 parts of this base, add 1 part compost. For city growers, mushroom compost is gold. It holds moisture and adds long-lasting nutrients. Pair it with aged chicken manure compost for a nitrogen kick that fuels tomato vines. The compost should be well-aged, at least 6 months, to avoid nutrient lockout or root burn. For next-level performance, blend in biochar at 10% of the total mix. It boosts soil biology and water management, helping roots access nutrients efficiently. It's an underrated tool, especially in hot balcony settings where water retention is crucial. Game-changing amendments for balcony bins. In small space setups, you don't have room for mistakes. That's why the right amendments take your soil from good to elite. Add worm castings, about 15% of the total volume. They offer steady, gentle feeding and boost microbial activity without the risk of burning young plants. Then include perlite or coarse vermiculite. 20% is the magic number. Urban gardeners often skip this, but it's essential in plastic bins. These materials prevent compaction, improve drainage, and allow roots to breathe in humid conditions. Round things out with granite or basalt rock dust, 2 tablespoons per gallon of soil mix. These trace minerals enhance flavor, resilience, and overall plant vitality, perfect for those aiming for sweet, complex-tasting tomatoes. Perfect bin setup for urban gardeners. Setting up your bin right is half the battle. Drainage is your first priority. Drill half-inch holes every 4 inches along the base and a few in the center. In humid climates or on balconies with poor air circulation, drainage is everything. Next, raise your bin off the ground using bricks, crates, or wooden slats. This keeps the bottom from becoming waterlogged, allows airflow, and prevents fungal or pest issues common on city patios. Depth is key. Aim for at least 18 inches of soil, though 24 inches gives even better results. Deep bins support strong root growth and help stabilize plants in windy balcony conditions. Transplanting tomatoes without stress. Urban microclimates are unpredictable, so timing your transplant is critical. Wait until your tomato seedlings have 2 full sets of true leaves and are growing vigorously. Make sure your bin soil is above 60 degrees Fahrenheit before planting. Prepping your bins a week early lets the soil warm up, especially in shady or breezy balcony spots. When planting, bury 2/3 of the stem. Tomatoes grow roots from the buried stem, creating a sturdier, more resilient plant. In small spaces, stronger root systems mean fewer problems and bigger harvests. Daily care that delivers big results. City containers dry out fast, especially on sunny balconies. The goal is consistent moisture, not saturation. Water daily in hot weather, but only until the top few inches are evenly moist. Use mulch to reduce evaporation. Nutrients deplete fast in containers. Feed weekly with a balanced liquid fertilizer. Alternate between fish emulsion for leafy growth and kelp meal tea for flowering and fruiting. Balcony tomatoes often lack potassium and trace minerals, and kelp fills those gaps beautifully. Watch for heat stress. If your bins sit on reflective surfaces or blacktop, consider painting them light colors or wrapping with reflective foil to deflect heat. Urban troubleshooting tips. Yellowing leaves? That's usually a nitrogen dip. Hit it with worm tea or fish emulsion. Purple undersides? Phosphorus deficiency, often from cool roots or early season chill. Blossom end rot? This isn't a calcium shortage, it's a watering issue. Fluctuating moisture stops calcium uptake. Stay consistent, and your fruit will stay flawless. Your path to tomato glory. Even in the smallest urban space, this plastic bin system gives you the power to grow robust, flavorful tomatoes. Start with 1 or 2 bins to fine-tune your approach. Take notes on sunlight, water needs, and your favorite varieties. Share this video with your fellow city growers, and don't forget to subscribe to Botanical Bliss for more tips on maximizing your garden in minimal space. Drop your success stories in the comments. We love seeing what you're growing.